I am here at the NCTE 2015 conference in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we are here with Kwame Alexander, Newbery winning author. Kwame, in addition to winning the Newbery Award, your book, The Crossover, also won an NCTE Charlotte Huck Award honor. The Charlotte Huck Award recognizes fiction that has the potential to transform children's lives by inviting compassion, imagination, and wonder. So how have you seen those ideas manifest in the stories you hear from your readers?
Wow. Well, first, it's great to be here. It's great to be here at NCTE. I have talked to a ton of students. I go into 3 to 4 schools a week. And it's always just sort of heartwarming and validating to hear young people and librarians say that, you know, we never, read. Like these kids never read a book, or this boy never finished a book, or poetry is not something my kids are usually into, but they couldn't put your book down, and they want more of it. And that's exciting to hear, because certainly you want to write a good book. You want to write a book that's going to hopefully, that people are going to like. They're going to enjoy reading. They're going to find some joy in it. But it's like a whole nother thing when you see that your writing, that your story is transforming the way children in general, and boys in particular, view reading, and they're becoming more engaged with it. So that's the best kind of reward you could ever get as a writer of children's lit.
That's awesome. So speaking of poetry, you're a writer and lover of poetry. How do you make the case in schools these days for writing poetry, and that it's necessary when so many see it as superfluous because it's not part of Common Core standards or any other state standards that have been instituted?
Well, the thing is, poetry is a part of the standards. I mean, when you think about sort of the reading comprehension, when you think about the figurative language, when you think about the presentation, when you think about using the economy of words and the word choice and the diction, I mean, it has all the components to go into, a lot of these standards for English language arts. Because I think people are afraid of it. I think we're afraid of poetry because somewhere after elementary school, where we're learning and enjoying Dr. Seuss and Shel Silverstein and Ashley Bryan, I think somewhere after that, we sort of lose our love of it, and poetry becomes something that's staid and incomprehensible. I think we got to find that bridge, that accessible poetry that keeps us engaged with it long after elementary school, and that's what's needed in our schools. And I think, in addition to sort of all the technical, aspects of writing that our children will learn from poetry, it's heart. It's heart. It's from the heart. They'll be able to sort of take their stories, their lives, and put them in these sort of power-packed words, and that's really the most important thing about poetry, is that it can help us ask the questions that we need to ask in this world, and help us understand our place in it better.
So NCTE is also a sponsor of the National Day on Writing, which is in October, and this year the theme was Why I Write. So how would you answer that question? Why do you write?
Why do I write? I write to feel better about myself. I write to understand myself better. I write to feel better about the world. I write to understand the world better. I write to hopefully change the ways people think about something. I write to be empowered. I write to share my story. I write because ultimately I want to change the world, and I believe that through words, which are just these extremely powerful devices, we can change the world. That's why I write. It's a grandiose thing. I know, a lofty goal, but I believe that between the lines, I believe that making words dance on the page is the most empowering, and that's why I write.
Wow. Thank you so much, Kwame, for being here. Congratulations on all of your accolades and awards that you have won this year. And I hope you have a great time at the conference, and I hope you have a pulchritudinous day.
Oh, pulchritudinous, you did it. NCTE. Thank you.
Thank you.